Nice.
Okay, so let's get started. So yes, tonight we've got lovely Leanne. She's in my top left screen, waving, yes. And she's making beautiful mini spiced lamb pies. We have also, I'm then making Nico Moretti's Moscow Mule, minted Moscow Mule, which is a winner. I absolutely love that cocktail. Kate is making beautiful pecan pie cheesecake cups. Can't wait to see how they turn out because I've not made those before. Jenny is making a beautiful beetroot salad with raita dressing. Can't wait to see that one come together. That's sort of something that is a bit special and a bit chefy. And then Catherine Day is also making something quite that I've not made before, and that's the peanut soba noodle wonton cups. So they sound really interesting and really flavoursome. And Jocelyn's helping her out making the peanut dressing. And then we're going to finish up with Jackie, who's going to share one of her created recipes of gourmet crackers, and she's going to give us a sneak peek into some other bits and pieces that she's been busy um, concocting over the last day or two. So yeah, that'll be worth hanging around for. Made me hungry looking at her photos earlier. So the Thermomix, let me just get an idea. I know Heather, you've got a 6, is that correct? And
Yes, that is.
yes, that is correct. Darren's a non-owner. He's here to have a squiz, have a good look, and
Correct.
that is fantastic. That is the best way to make an informed decision is to come and have a look. And Lisa, do you have a Thermomix? If so, which model do you have? You can type in the chat if you don't want to come off. And Sue?
TM6.
PM6, fantastic. So you'll
Hi,
be singing the
Sue.
praises along with
Hello.
us.
We got there.
We got there, yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, and Lisa's got a 6 as well. All right. So as people join, what I will do is just very quickly run through. Or actually, Leanne, is Darren clued in on what comes with the TM6?
No.
No.
Checked
All right.
over the weekend.
Fantastic. So when you purchase the Thermomix, I'm just going to quickly show you everything that comes with it. What I might do is spotlight myself so you can see more. That's a bit scary. Okay, so what comes with your Thermomix when you purchase it, most importantly, is it comes with your consultant. Okay, your consultant is your greatest asset when learning how to use your Thermomix and getting the most value out of your Thermomix. Okay, so it comes with a bowl, blade and lid set. Okay, and it also comes with this is all included in the price. It comes with a unit and 6 months free subscription to our recipe platform, which is called Cookie Do. It also comes with a measuring cup and a splatter gun, and you're going to see these bits and pieces used throughout the night. So I'm not going to go into a big explanation of them all. You also get a spatula and a butterfly whisk, which is fantastic. That's great for whipping up egg whites for meringues and so forth. And finally, you get this, well, not finally, but you also get this Verona dish, which is brilliant for steaming your food. Great way to be, really help if you're health conscious. Steaming your food retains the flavour, retains the colour, but also retains the nutrients, which is fabulous. So that comes with it as well. And you also get the basic cookbook, which is behind me. Sorry. Here. And all of the recipes in the basic cookbook come preloaded on your Thermomix. And that by them being preloaded, you'll see what we mean in a minute, means that they're with guided cooking. So your Thermomix tells you what to do exactly, like turn the oven on. It's pretty cool. Okay, we've got a few, sorry, the price of the Thermomix is $2,359. And at the moment, we've got some great specials on. I'm not going to tell you about all of them right now. We will feed that information to you throughout the night. But what I will tell you is we have two options that you can add on to the purchase of your Thermomix. And yeah, all right. So just quickly, now that we've gone through all of that, so can you see the three circles?
Yes.
Yes, beautiful. So this is how the Thermomix works essentially, Darren. There are three circles here, okay? The first one is for time. So you select it and you enter the time. The next one is for temperature and you select the temperature that you want. The final one is the speed of the blades, and obviously depending what speed you select is going to have an impact of what's happening here in the jug. Okay, so the higher the speed, it's going to obliterate the living bejeepers out of whatever's in there. Low speed, like the stirring speed, is just going to gently stir it. That, in a nutshell, is how the Thermomix works. It's very, very simple. Okay, now if we swipe over.
Tess, we keep losing you on the microphone, love.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we swipe over and we've got these modes. And this is what makes the Thermomix incredibly special, is all of these modes. You'll notice I'm a little bit anal. I've got them all in alphabetical order. That's just my little hang up. So I'm just going to read them all out to you. We'd be here all night if I went through each and every one of them.
We're losing you again.
Yes, it's happening because Zoom is cutting over the top of you because it thinks it's got sudden loud noise. So if you move your mic a little further away, you should be clearer.
Oh, you're saying I'm too close to it?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
it's reading your voice as sudden loud noise that it needs to cut out. Same thing when you are opening your Thermomix bowl before it cut you out.
Rightio.
Oh, hello.
Can you see that? And hear me?
No, can't hear you.
Well, maybe somebody else can quickly show the modes when we get to them. I just wanted to sort of read out. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I wanted to read out that there's blend, dough, egg boiler, fermentation, kettle, pre-clean, gotta love that one, rice cooker, scales, slow cooker, sous vide, thicken, turbo, and warm-up mode. Now, Darren, you really probably need an actual one-on-one demonstration or cooking experience to really wrap your head around exactly what this baby can do. Now you swipe the other way from the home screen, and that brings you to Cookie Do. But you're going to see the girls use very soon. Cookie Do is our recipe platform.
No, Tess, you'll need to leave that be.
Okay, thank you. Cookie Do is our recipe platform, and the girls will show you. You preload the recipes via the app, and it's just absolutely fabulous. So I'll leave that there. What I'm going to do now is hand over to lovely Leanne. She's going to get started on her mini minced pies.
Thanks, Tess. Hi, everyone, and thanks for coming. I'm going to be doing this mini spiced lamb pies today. Now, normally these pies, or it's normally done in a big pie, in a cake tin, 26 centimetres. So you actually get quite a lot of mixture for these pies. But given that our theme today is spring picnics, we've chosen to do them in mini pie formation. So For everyone, we just go to these 3 bars here. We click on those and it brings us into my recipes, my week, recently cooked, settings and help function. Go into my week and I've preloaded this recipe in here. So now all I have to do is read and press next and we'll have beautiful lamb pies. So I'll click on start cooking. So it says grease. So it tells you what to do. The recipe says grease a springform cake tin, 26 centimeters with oil and set aside. I'm not doing that. I'm actually going to be putting them in my little cupcake tray today. So it says place 40 grams of Parmesan cheese, and it even tells you cut into 3 centimeter sizes. Now, because I've just taken my lid off, I need to tear my scales back to 0. So tip them in, 43 grams, that's fine, not a problem. Next, tells me to put the lid and measuring cup on, and then next, what it's going to do for 10 seconds, we're going to turn the speed to 10 and it's going to grate the cheese for me. Block your ears, this is quite noisy. Things to you once it's completed that step, so you know that we go to the next step. So we click next, and let me just show you that no nasties in there. All right, so add 100 grams of natural yogurt. I made this yogurt, so once again I know that there's no additives or anything in there, and I didn't tear. 50 grams of feta cheese, just in pieces. Next, 1 egg. Okay, pop the measuring cup on with the lid, and next, so 4 seconds, speed 5, and it's going to mix.
Reading.
Okay, so now this part of the recipe, it actually tells me to transfer this mixture into a bowl and set aside. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually just going to use my second bowl blade lid, which happens to be option number 1 or 2, depending which way you look at it. As a bundle buy, you can buy it for $29. So it saves you $346 if you're buying a Thermomix and you choose this option. That's unforeseen. Thermomix have never, ever given an offer like that before. So something just to think about there. Tells you to clean and dry the bowl, but we're using a clean one. It's asking for some brown onions. We don't use onions in our house because we have intolerances, but you could use, I've chosen not to, but you could use celery, you could use any other type of vegetable, you could use leeks in place. Add 2 garlics. 2 usually means 3 or 4 to me. Insert the measuring cup and the lid. And now it's just going to grate for 3 seconds. And you can see how easy that is and how quick. All right, scrape down the side. So when you're scraping down, you go in a clockwise direction so that you save your spatula from hitting the sharp edge of the blades. Because one side's sharp and the other's blunt. Add 20 grams of olive oil. I'm using less because I've only got the garlic that I'm going to roast now. Pop the lid back on. And it's going to cook for the 2 minutes. So we'll just let that cook. But yeah, you can see how quick and easy it was just to change over bowls and just keep progressing with your recipe. So definitely a must-have. I don't know what I'd do without my second bowl blade lid. What I can tell you with this, whilst it is cooking, it's telling me to preheat my oven to 220 degrees and place a baking tray into the oven to warm. So I'll just do that. And what I can also tell you, if you don't know this already, there's 3 little dots here next to the next. If you click on those, it actually can bring up the recipe detail for you. So if you haven't pre-read your recipe, you can always go back and see what's coming next. So what you get to see with your recipe is the level of difficulty. So this one's quite easy. The prep time's 25 minutes, total time's 40 minutes, and serving portion size is 6. Gives you the ingredients on the left-hand side and the preparations or the instructions on the right. Scroll down to the bottom, it actually gives you the nutritional panel as well. It gives you the utensils you need and some hints and tips. So it's always a good idea to read the recipe in its entirety beforehand. And in this case, the hints and tips are referring to the vegetable stock paste that we'll be using to get the recipe from Cookie Dough. And it also says that the pie should be served immediately so it's nice and warm. So next, all right. So now it wants me to add the 500 grams of lamb mince. So I normally mince my own lamb, but today I decided just to buy it. But I mean, the mincing function on this is brilliant. You just need to make sure that your pieces of protein are half frozen so that you get a better consistency when you do mince. So I've already pre-weighed out my herbs and spices. So I've got cumin, coriander, and cinnamon. So in they go. And then tomato paste. This is also made in the Thermi as well. What's next? So 1 to 2 teaspoons of veggie stock paste. Now you'll notice mine's a beautiful red colour. That's because I put beetroot in with my stock paste. Normally it's a green, so the colour's dependent on the type of veggies you pop into your stock. Okay, and next, some pepper. And so now it tells me, take the measuring cup off, pop the lid on, and it wants me to cook for 3 minutes on spoon speed. And there's a spoon. So whilst that's cooking, I'll actually pass back to Tess to do Nico Moretti's minted Moscow Mule. Over to you, Tess.
Thanks, Leanne. Thank you. I actually need a drink after that. Okay. Fantastic. All right. Please let me know if you have troubles hearing me. Okay, so this is a favourite cocktail of ours. And it's so super simple and easy to make in your Thermomix. So
We've got problems again, Tess, because you've moved something.
Okay, is it working now?
It is.
All right. This recipe, I don't know what's going on with my computer tonight. I'm really, really sorry. This recipe is a kind of chuck it all in and go for it kind of recipe. I'm not game to move my computer now. So I've got it up here on Cookie Do, and I will read it out to you. So we start off with 40 grams of caster sugar. Of course, you may already know you can make caster sugar in your Thermomix by just using raw sugar or white sugar and blitzing it for around about 4 or 5 minutes on speed 9. Voila, caster sugar.
Seconds.
Seconds. Oh gosh, I'm having a cracker tonight. Thank you, Jen, for being on the ball. If you want icing sugar, it's 10 seconds. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that in Themi and hit next, and we're going to turn it into icing sugar. We're milling. And that has just made beautiful icing sugar. Could someone please, oh, thank you. In seconds. Amazing.
She's glazing over there, perhaps. The glaze that Lynette's putting on being milk and egg yolk. The milk is still with a nice crust.
Thank you. So we are going to just scrape down the bowl. I'm using my long-handled spatula, which is a godsend from the mix shop. They are very, very handy. Get right down to the bottom of the bowl. Just don't use it through the lid, because you will chop it up. That's the beauty of our spatula, is having the collar on it means you won't touch blades. All right, so now we're going to add in 40 fresh mint leaves from my garden. We are going to add in 3 limes, flesh only. In they go. Probably see why I love this so much. 400 mils of vodka. 600 grams of ice cubes, which I'm just keeping cold in my little thermo jug, which is awesome. Keeps whatever's in there hot or cold. It's great for custard, sauces, gravies. Brilliant. Also available on the mix shop. And then we're going to mix that, and it's going to be a bit loud, but the Zoom will cut it out for 1 minute. Okay, so the reason it was on only on speed 4 was we didn't want to crush the ice. We just wanted to chop it a little bit so that there's still tangible big bits of ice through it. Now it's asking for 660 grams of ginger beer, Now, I don't have beautiful homemade ginger beer like Catherine does, so I'm going to use the Bundaberg variety. You could use alcoholic, but then that's going to pack a punch because you've already got vodka in there. So I'm just going to use the whole bottle. So this is fabulous to take in a thermos or, you know, some kind of container that's going to keep it cold. Take your ice as well. If you're in the car park at the races for Melbourne Cup, if you're lucky enough to get in, this is a perfect drink. I don't know about you, I'm not really into champagne and sparkles, so this would be what I would be taking. So we're going to mix that for 20 seconds on speed 3. And then we are going to pour that into some glasses. It's got the mint all through it, and we've got these beautiful mugs. Oh, and then we're just going to pop a few slices of lime on top as well, and it's essentially got crushed ice in it. Can you see that without me tipping it all over my computer? Better give it a taste, hey? Mmm. Yeah, so refreshing. Absolutely beautiful. That's what I need. All right, I'm going to come back to Leanne now, and she's going to continue on with her spiced lamb pies. Over to you, Leanne.
All right, so my lamb's just finished cooking, so I can, first of all, I can show you that. That's all cooked. Smells quite yummy. Oops, almost lost that liquid. All right, and now what I'm going to do is just show you the phyllo pastry. So we're just using phyllo pastry, and we're going to put them into the shells. So you just, I've just cut the phyllo pastry into 4, one sheet into 4, and you just line with some oil. And then what you do is you pick it up and you, can you see my, pick up your piece of phyllo and plonk it in your muffin tray. And then I have one of these pastry, I don't know what they're called, pastry shapers. And then you just push down. So it keeps its shape in there, makes it nice and easy. And then you repeat that with 4 sheets of phyllo pastry. You just oil. And I bought my pastry frozen, so I took it out of the freezer and popped it in the fridge last night to let it get to thaw out, and then I've just had it on the bench for a few hours to thaw it, to get it down to room temperature. And it's now just currently still in its plastic, but wrapped in a wet tea towel. So I'm just rotating these pastry sheets every time I'm putting them in so that we have a bit of overhang at the top. So we're going to then wrap it up in a parcel. And then there's one more. Now what the next step on Cookie Dough actually says to put a tablespoon, remembering that this recipe was keyed for the cake tin, but to put some breadcrumbs in the base, and that's to absorb the moisture. So I've made these breadcrumbs using the Thermomix, and I'll just put a little sprinkle in. Then what I'll do is I'll get some of my mince, just fill it up like that, and then pop some of my liquid over the top, and then all Cookie Do says is you just bring it all together and brush with more oil. Little bit fiddly, but the end result is absolutely amazing. So I'll do that again just to show you, and then I'll pass over to someone else and get these into the oven cooking. So and there's no science to this at all. The quicker the better. So I'll try something a bit different this time. I'll just lay them over the muffin hole and push them all down at once, see how that goes. And I like the rustic look anyway, so.
I'm all about rustic too.
Yeah.
They look fabulous, Leanne.
They actually, yeah, you can tell that they're homemade then.
That's good, yeah.
They taste amazing.
Now, I haven't made them as many pies before, only as the large one, but these look fantastic.
They're amazing. When I did it before just to see whether I like them as mini ones, and I actually froze some, so they work out okay to freeze and then reheat. So that's only 4 sheets, but I think that will be enough.
Mm.
And you can see what the pastry shaper does. It actually pushes everything right in, so you don't have to get your fingers in there. And they're out of stock at the moment on Cookie Do, but they are $8.95. So perhaps good little stocking filler if we get them in time.
Yeah, they're really handy for the Portuguese custard tarts too.
Correct. So they've got 2 sizes, a big size and then the little size as well, which is great. Okay, my hubby, I can hear the front door going. He's just coming back from up the street saying hello to the neighbours. Give him Freedom Day.
Being social.
Yes, he is. So there we go, and I'll just brush that one and I'll pass back to whoever's next on our list, or back to Tess to pass on. And then what happens is once these are all done, into the oven for 10 to 12 minutes, and I'll show you them at the end.
Fantastic. Thank you, Leanne. Next up, we have got Kate, who is making the pecan pie cheesecake cups, which sound fantastic. So, Kate, where are you? What I'll do is I'll spotlight Kate, and I'll also have Leanne. So if anyone wants to watch her continue to make those, you can watch 2 things at once. Hi, Kate.
Hello. What for dessert? So I'm making the pecan pie cheesecake cups, which go really well with those little lamb pies. I've already got the recipe up on my machine. So all I need to do now is start cooking. And it's telling me to put in 100 grams of pecans. So I'll just tear it again like Leanne did. I've added 100 grams. Click next. It's telling me to put the lid and the measuring cup back on. And next, and now we'll just turn around to speed 5 for 2 seconds. We'll have a quick look. So that's after 2 seconds. Let's really chop those up. I might just go another 2 seconds just to, because it's going to go in our pastry. So I'll go back a step and click next. I think that'll be better. So you can go backwards and forwards. You don't have to stick to exactly what it tells you to do. So that there is just a bit finer. So it's telling me to put that into a bowl. So I'll just put it back in the bowl that I had used. And next, so now we need 40 grams of softened butter, unsalted. Next.
Hey, Kate, have you got your screen turned on to most bright setting?
Oh, I don't know. Probably.
Maybe just try and, yeah, it's just a big white blur.
Yeah. Can I go into my settings?
That's better. We can at least see your screen. Yes, you can go into your settings. If you just bookmark it, press home. This is good for everyone to learn. And then go into your menu settings and check your display. Is your brightness up really high?
It's on the lowest now.
Okay, that's slightly better. Perhaps are you able to bring the camera a tiny bit closer? Yeah, that's better.
Is that any better?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so what that's done, that's melted the butter for us. And now it's telling me to add 120 grams of digestive biscuits broken into pieces. It does say 20 grams of bourbon, but my kids are going to be eating this, so I think I better leave that out. As much as I'd love to put it in.
They'll sleep well.
They will. 20 grams of the pecan, the crushed pecans that we did earlier. And now just...
Kate, how did you break your biscuits into pieces?
Oh, I just broke them with my hands.
Okay, so some people have sore hands or whatever. They can use the handle of their spatula while the biscuits are still in the packet.
Oh,
And
Great
just
tip.
bash them. It's the really hard handle.
Excellent. Great tip, Kat.
Okay, so let's just mix that together. It's only taken 3 seconds.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So now it's telling me to put a tablespoon of that into each container that I'm going to be serving this up in. So I've just got some small jars.
So you could have put the, replace the bourbon with maybe a little orange juice or apple juice to replace the moisture, Kate, when you were making this. Have you ever tried it that way?
I did add a little bit of extra butter so that
good.
it'll put it together. But yeah, exactly. Some orange juice would have been perfect. So I've just put those into the jars earlier. So And then it says to put them into the fridge until we're ready to use them. You can make this recipe a couple of days ahead. You just keep your biscuit mixture and the toppings separate. So now I'm in my bowl as well. And as Leanne said, it's on special at the moment. There's a deal, $29 if you purchase a machine, and you get the second bowl for $29 extra. So 80 grams of brown sugar.
Yeah.
Look,
No.
Bourbon, 20 grams of bourbon, which I am leaving out. I don't have any orange juice to put in, unfortunately.
I'll give her something else.
Maple syrup. Half a teaspoon of vanilla paste, vanilla bean paste. So it's ready. Next, 30 grams of unsalted butter. And now it wants 80 grams of the reserved pecans, which really should be the rest.
Excuse me for interrupting. Sorry, Kay. What step are you up to at the moment? Does it say on your screen?
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
I think it's step 3. So I'm now at, so without the measuring cup. Now this will go for 4 minutes.
Okay, beautiful.
Across to
So what
someone
we'll
else.
do is we might stop there because you've put the biscuit base in, haven't you?
Yes.
Yep. We'll stop there for the moment and we'll cross over to Jen so she can get started on her salad.
Yay.
And we'll come back to you, Kate.
Thank you. So that was just the sauce.
So that's cooking for 4 minutes, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so if you continue with step 3 and get those bases into the fridge so that they can firm, we'll come back to you. Yeah?
Yes. Yep. Sounds good.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to remove the spotlight from Leanne. We'll leave it on Kate so we can watch what she's doing. And Jenny.
Hey guys, am I on? Yes.
About to. You will be in a second.
Okie doke.
There you go.
There I am.
Yay!
Yeah, look, I'm making this most delicious salad. I made it the other night for the first time, just to give it a whirl, so that I knew exactly what I would be doing tonight, and I'm really impressed. It's absolutely delicious, particularly if you like a little bit of chili bite. Okay, so there's quite a lot of chili and pepper in it. It's called beetroot salad with raita dressing, and I'm just going to bring that up on my week. So I've diarised it for today, and I'm pressing on it, cook today, and start cooking. And it's asked me to place my aroma dish on top of my Thermomix. So I'm going to be steaming, because this is our steaming basket, and place 2 sliced and peeled beetroots. Now I've used a mandolin to slice these very thinly. You want them to be nice and thin and delicate, okay? So I'm going to pop that into my steamer for my aroma. And then it asks me to toss it with 1 teaspoon of dried chili flakes, 1 teaspoon of red wine vinegar, and half a teaspoon of ground pepper. So what I've done is I've mixed those 3 ingredients into this little bowl here. And I'm just going to put that onto the beetroot And with my favourite tongs that I got from the mix shop, I love these ones, I'm just going to toss that through. So what I'm doing is coating all the beetroot with that chilli and pepper vinegar mix, and just making sure that it just coats everything nicely so that whilst the beetroot is cooking, it's going to be absorbing all those delicious flavours. All right, so when I press next, my next instruction is to put 500 grams of boiling water into the bowl. Well, I don't need to boil a kettle anymore because the TM6 has got a kettle function. So prior to me coming on, I just made sure that I had boiling water in here. I've got it up to 100 degrees and it's ready to rock. So what that does is it just shortens the cooking time, really, because we're not starting from cold water, we're starting from boiling water. It's going to move the recipe along a little bit faster. So I've done that, put the beetroot into position in the varoma, and it's going to cook for 15 minutes at varoma temperature, and it's asked me to take it to speed 4. Now, whilst that is happening, it's next asking me to peel a 6 centimetre piece of ginger and slice it into matchsticks. See that? And of course, I used my paring knife from my toolkit. Now, for those of you who don't know, we were mentioning there were 2 options before. You can either, when you purchase your Thermomix, do the buy-in offer of $29 and get yourself a second ball blade lid set. Well, why wouldn't you? But some of us really love a freebie. And rather than doing that, some people might want to go the free option for this wonderful toolkit. And the toolkit has got scissors, 2 paring knives, one of which I use to slice my ginger. One has a pointy end, one has a rounded end, those knives. Fruit scoop, and it also has this is my favourite knife. This knife is the best for making sandwiches. Yeah. Are you saying something?
I was agreeing with you. I said me too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the best because you can spread butter. You can slice your cheese and your tomato because it's got a serrated edge on it. It's a fabulous knife, absolutely fabulous. I really love it. And of course, something else I did, which it's asked me to prepare, is 150 grams of sweet potato peeled. And I used my peeler from my my little kitchen toolkit, and I sliced down the length of the sweet potato and created ribbons. Yeah. So the next step is to actually fry these off, shallow fry them off in a pan. But before I move over to the stove, I just want to say that free offer that's an option is the toolkit and this beautiful book, Meals in a Flash. And it just so happens that all the recipes that we're making tonight come from this beautiful publication. Okay, so if you don't want the extra bowl blade lid set, you've got a free offer as well. So let me now move over to my stove, and I need to shallow fry the little, yeah, I'll move to this one, the little matchsticks of ginger and the ribbons of sweet potato. Now I've heated my pan. You'll have to come right down. Don't look at me, look at that's it. I've got my cameraman working here. Is that a good shot? Like that? Yep,
Great.
good. You put about 250 grams of sunflower oil in there. You do not want it to be too hot. This will burn very quickly if you've got it too hot. So you just want moderate heat. And I'm going to place my ginger in. And in the recipe, it does say it only takes two odd minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. It takes longer than that. What you want to do is get all this crisp. So what it's going to do to the salad is add a crunch, okay, which is just divine. So you want them to fry until they're crisp, and you can tell when they're crisp when you push them along and they sort of rustle up against the bottom of the pan. You can just feel it. And I'll just show you what these look like. Now, these ribbons will curl up and squirm like little worms, yeah, and become the most delicious, crunchy, gorgeous little chips, which we're going to top the salad with, the steamed beetroot with. So this is going to take me a few minutes. As I say, it's not 1 or 2 minutes per batch. You want to do it in small batches so that it all doesn't stick together. So how about I get all this fried and I'll call you when I'm ready. Does that sound like a good idea?
That sounds like a plan, Jen. Thank you so much. You're making
No worries at all.
I love sweet potato. Awesome.
And these chips, honestly, oh, they're delicious. And I'll talk about them in a little while, about other things that you could possibly do with them. Okay.
Fabulous.
I'll hand over.
Thank you. Okay, so now we are heading over back to Kate. See how she's going with those cheesecake cups. Hello, Kate. You are muted.
I should be right now.
Ah, fantastic. Yep.
I've taken that out. It's made a caramelized pecan topping that we're going to use on our cheesecakes.
Yum.
Oh, it smells amazing. Anyway, so now we'll go on to our cheesecake part of it. So it's asking me to put in 250 grams of cream cheese. Now, I haven't cleaned the bowl once here, so, which I love. Hasn't asked me to, so I haven't done it. 150 grams of whipping cream or pouring cream. And 40 grams of maple syrup. Another teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. Now we'll put the measuring cup and lid back on. And 20 seconds on speed 4. So now it's asking me to scrape down the sides with the spatula. I'll just show you how that came out.
Oh, yum.
Mix that up. Just wanting me to just scrape down the sides. Oh. Now it wants me to insert the butterfly whisk. So this is the butterfly whisk that comes with your machine. It's got so it's got 4 parts to it here, which tells us not to use it above speed 4. It's just a way to remember it. 4 wings.
That's a good tip.
So I'll just now we're going speed 3 for 15 seconds. Okay, so it's asking me to remove that butterfly whisk. So let's just whip that up a bit. Too much.
That looks delicious.
See what's next. Now it's asking me to put those into, spoon it into my pre-made bases in the jars. I'll just give it a spoon. I'll spoon some of that in.
Such a good idea to put them in jars. Have you got lids? You can imagine if you're going to the races or for a picnic. How lovely would that be?
So now I need to let it set for, I think 10 minutes it says in the fridge. So I put it into the fridge for 10 minutes. And then once that's done, I'll be spooning on a spoonful of my caramelized pecan topping.
Oh,
The lid on, and away we go.
fantastic. Well, we'll cut back to you a bit later, Kate.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I think Catherine is next with her peanut soba noodle wonton cups. Over to you, Kath.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tess. Well, that's a mouthful for the name of what we're making. Basically, they're little bite-sized salad delivery mechanisms, really, these wonton cups. And wontons are, oh, I've got them wrapped in a beeswax wrap. Wonton wrappers you can buy. I know people make them, but I've purchased them, and this was a big wodge of them. I've used them a few times, and they are floured in between each layer. And so basically to loosen the layers, you handle them like you might a new ream of paper or the photocopier, and that helps to loosen the layers. Something I've prepared in advance. The Thermomix is of a size that when we lay out 24 of the wonton wrappers, they just perfectly fill the white area of your Thermomix. Now, the concept of these wonton wrappers, because they're just an egg yolk pastry, is that we're going to lightly oil them and bake them in the oven. And they will be shaped to a mini muffin shape, so we can just get like a mouthful of this salad delivery mechanism. So I've got this rose gold mini muffin tray. It is a 24-hole tray, and the idea is to oil it in advance. Now, the oil is not stop sticking, but rather to make your wontons extra crispy. Because of that flour coating, it's nice to have the oil there. Now, look, ordinarily, when we use mini muffin trays, we put the ingredients in the holes. Makes sense, right? And if you do that, it's fine with your wrappers. Let's pretend I've oiled it. And without one of those beautiful wooden whackers that Leanne was using, you just whack it in like that, right? Now, the recipe says to trim with scissors. The excess around the top seems a bit wasteful. If you're particularly pedantic to it, I've found that you can use your, it's a bowl scraper from the mix shop, and just cut off a scant 1 centimetre strip off the side of your wonton wrapper, and then it'll fit better, right, into the hole, like so. That's one method. Now, what you might not have considered is that we have got shapes on the reverse side of this. So we can take this, we can oil, right? Squirt oil. Having oiled, we can now take our wrappers and put them around the outside. Now, the benefit of that, it's quicker. There's no doubt about it in my mind. It's quicker. And we can oil them again afterwards like this. So you wouldn't even need to lay them out like so. I was just giving you a visual representation of what we're using by way of wonton wrappers. And then off to the oven. The oven gets preheated at 180 degrees, and we will have put one of those on every hole. Now, the benefit of that is it's easier, but also two more things from putting it on the outside like that. One is that you will get a bigger cavity to put more salad into. And the other benefit, number two, is that each of your wonton wrappers, the top hats is what they're called in Chinese, is that they have little ledges. So these have also been pre-baked. These are the ones that are done on the inside. Here goes my camera, maybe slightly overcooked, but there they are. I think Jocelyn has helped me out and made some better ones. And these are the ones I've cooked rather than on the inside, I've cooked them on the outside. You just see you've got a much bigger area in which to put the salad once it's made.
That's a fantastic tip, Kath. I would have thought of doing that.
Cool. All right. So that's concept number one, and I reckon it works well for us to do it that way, right? Okay, now I'm going to, this can go off screen and be made by one of the elves over there in the kitchen. But now what I want to actually show you on the Thermomix side of things is actually making the salad, which is such a whiz-bang easy salad. It's drop dead, make it again every time kind of salad. All right, so I've got my recipe open, but really it's not that needed because it's pretty straightforward. Now, the other thing I meant to mention too, why I like doing these this way is that the recipe also says lightly salt your pastry cups. So here, with them on the outside and oiled, my salt is going to stick, but the salt's on the outside. And when you go to bite it, you're just getting a little bit of salt on the tongue as soon as you put that little wonton top hat inside your mouth.
That's
and
genius.
Yeah. It's just nice to get that little bit of salty treat to begin with. You already fall in love with it before you've even eaten it. All right. Now, here comes this salad. It says, now, look, we've only made 24, right, of these little top hats. This is just some of the ingredients for the salad. So just this recipe will make a lot more than you will fit into 24 top hats. So you know, doing them on the outside, you get that ledge, so you get more to sort of overflow if you want. You can halve the salad ingredients by all means. Red cabbage is going in. Now look, your cabbage comes like as it does, and it says 1/4. As long as you've cut your raw fruit or veg so it fits through the hole in the lid, or almost does, then you've cut it small enough. So in goes my red cabbage. Doesn't really matter. Let's just mix because the red's gone down the bottom. In goes the cabbage. I'm just putting in, I've got them cut into chunks. And now it says, having put in 1/4 of your purple cabbage, then we're going to just roughly chop it, right? We're going to chop it for about 6 seconds on speed 4. So off we go. Bang. Right, now what I have also prepared in advance, these instructions for this is in the beginning part of the recipe, and there's a noodle component to this salad recipe. Now it calls soba noodle. The soba noodle is Japanese, but in fact we've used this is sweet potato noodles. Now that's the packaging that I've got for the sweet potato, and I've halved the ingredients of this soba noodle. And they just cook, they cook in boiling water, right, in the Thermomix. So the start of the recipe brings the water to boil. There's the sweet potato noodles. I like to move away from wheat if possible, and using a noodle made from sweet potato does just that. I had more, I think I had more of that than I needed, and I see just not really happy it's fine enough. So I'm going to go a little bit long. Oh, I know why. It's because the recipe actually invited me to scrape it down and chop it again. So I've just done my second chopping. It didn't really need a lot of scraping. That's it. Let's pretend we've scraped. Next step. Yep, we've scraped. We've done this. We're doing that. Done. Okay, so now we're going to what we do, you can use the kettle mode on your Thermomix to get the water. Look at that chopping so quickly. Get the water to boiling point. Then having got it to boiling point, you put the noodles in the basket in the water of your Thermomix and cook them. Now, it tells you for soba noodles how long to boil them for. If you vary, as I have done, to use sweet potato noodles, then just read packet, and however long it says to boil it for, that's what you adjust the timer on Thermomix to. So now we're going to add the white cabbage, which I've got the blend there of white and red together. So the second round of cabbages goes in. Good. And now we chop it. And there's a scraping down again, which is just in case any of it's stuck up top. But yeah, we've scraped. For our TM6 owners, I think there's at least one on. When it says to scrape down, the time that you need to be particularly careful of that is if you're doing anything on high heat or with sugar work. Now I've got white cabbage and a little red, beautifully chopped. Now I can tell you categorically, a food processor is not very good at doing that job. It tends to leave a very uneven result, or it juices. So having a Thermomix that can handle light ingredients like cabbage and chop them beautifully, it's a dream. Okay, now my next step is to do carrots. Now we've got the organic versions, so they're all a bit odd in colour, but you know, a little bit more yellow is nice in this celebrated colour. The size, in goes my carrot. Next step, carrot goes in and give it a burl. Just might give it a little bit more of a burl. Just because I had a slightly chunkier carrot at the top of it, but here wasn't quite so even. All right, next steps, chip it in. And now, before I hand over, I had the core of it, I think, was a little coarse, like a bit woody perhaps. Let me go back a step and give it a bit more chop. I'm just trying to get to my, here we go, this one. Right, here we are. So the next stage of the recipe is involved with making the dressing, which once you've made it, you will want to make it again and again. It's a gorgeous dressing for giving an Asian flavour to your salad. And to me, it's reminiscent of what we would have had or used to have in the Vietnamese restaurants. Now, Jocelyn's making this for us tonight so that we can eat this and have it dressed. I've already also made some earlier. Mine might be a different colour to Jocelyn's. This is the quantity that it makes. when you make it according to the recipe.
Oh, goodness.
It's a lot. So, you know, you might, but look at this. The salad also is a lot. I haven't mixed it yet. I'll toss it with awesome tongs like Jenny's, and that can be tossing away. So but I'll show you how with the top hat. So Jocelyn's going to show us how with the top hat. So I just wanted to comment that instead of using peanuts in this, I've used roasted dry almonds. So don't feel we can't substitute. Anyway, off to Jocelyn. Go.
Right. Hi, so I'm going to do the peanut dressing to complement Kathy's tea. Now, you can actually replace the peanut with cashew nuts if you have any form of peanut allergy. So now the recipe asks to put for 1 garlic clove. And then 1 centimeter piece of ginger peel. And next, insert the measuring cup. And be chopping it at speed 7 at 3 seconds. Right now, it's been chopped. And I'll just spread it down. Aji.
It's incredible that the 4 blades can grab 1 garlic clove, isn't it, and chop it
Yeah.
so finely.
That's right.
I just want to go straight. Okay, I'll do it.
And then it asks for 100 grams of peanut butter. Now this peanut butter, I made it using my Thermomix, and it has got nasties, and it's really easy to do. It only takes 5 minutes to do. And then ask for 60 grams of rice wine vinegar. $45 grams of sesame oil. $60 grams of soy sauce. And 2 tablespoons of honey.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, you get the tanginess and the sweetness as well. And so now it's going to mix at for 10 seconds at speed 9. Oh, sorry. The machine will tell you that no lead detected, so please check. So this is a safety feature of the Thermomix.
Oh, yum.
It's really good. Like it's, wish you can smell it.
I can almost smell it, I reckon.
The smell of a sesame oil and the peanut butter and the sweetness from the honey.
Beautiful.
Show you.
Mm.
You see it?
Yes.
That's my dressing. And this dressing, you can also, like what Catherine said, you can put it on the Vietnamese rice paper roll or even spring roll, and it's really delicious. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So that's the dressing that I made. Yeah.
Thank you, Jocelyn. How long have you had a Thermomix for?
I've actually owned a Thermomix for more than 10 years now, and there was my TM31. And until recently in July that I decided to upgrade to TM6. And I should have upgraded it when it first came out in 2019 because TM is so wonderful and has got all the amazing features.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you love it so much. What did you do?
So I love it so much that I decided to join the Thermomix family and be one of the consultants so that I can, share my passion with family and friends and my love for cooking, and also so that my family can eat healthy food, because I can use the Thermomix to cook from scratch and have I do easy cooking and no mess in the kitchen, and as well as
time.
Yeah.
And how's your consultant journey going? You're still in your 60-day period. How
Yes,
have you found it?
It's been amazing. Actually, initially I was under a lot of stress because I think of the expectations that I put on myself, and there are goals that has been set as well. And initially I thought, right, if I make the first sale, that'll be wonderful. And when I achieve that target, I then set my next target, that is to sell 3 Thermomix in a month, so that I could then achieve the incentive that was given to me. And so I achieved that within the month. And then after the 30 days, I then thought, right, I have got to achieve another 3 sales in order to get a free blade, bowl, and lid. And which I have done. Not only have I just sold additional 3, but I actually sold 5, which entitled me for another set of blade, bowl, and lid. So I'm just so happy.
So that was literally in one day. You earned 2 gold blade lid sets worth $750.
That's right.
On top of your commission. Yes, you're doing very well, Jocelyn. Thank you for sharing your story. I think people enjoy hearing how it comes about, and the best consultants are our raving fans. So if you're a raving fan, you love your Thermomix and you're looking for something different to do to add a bit of extra income to your life, then please reach out to your consultant and let them know that you might be interested and you just want to learn more. It's that simple, isn't it?
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jocelyn.
Thank you.
Kath, are we coming back to you, or we're going to Jen?
Yes, to me, please. Thank you. So what I've done is I've just, am I on the spotlight?
Not yet.
Anyway, okay. So I've just tossed, the only thing you didn't see Jocelyn or I do was just chop some nuts. So there's some chopped, it says peanuts. I've used dry roasted salted almonds and chopped those up. Couple of seconds in the Thermomix, 2 turbo bursts. Now I wanted to show you another option of a good picnic or lunchbox salad presentation other than the top hats. Now I showed you my, just carry the top hats if you want to serve them that way. And I would port the salad in the thermo server if you've got one of those, or just something. This got a solid. It's a water spill proof lid that you can get to go on top of the thermo server. That's one way of porting the salad. Another way of doing it is using these rice papers. Now they come in the Asian section of the whatever shops you go to. They look slightly like plastic, solid plastic. There's various brands that you can get. We like these, as you can see. They all do the same thing. This is what you don't want to get. This is rice paper for nougat. So it's quite different. It's more like, you know, that paper that wraps up nougat. You know, I used to have it as a child. These are the rice papers. It looks like plastic when you get it out of the packaging. And what you do with it is, I've just got a plate here. I don't know whether anyone can see. There we are. So there's just a dinner plate here, right? And I've put some water. It's good if it's boiling. This is not, doesn't really matter. What we do with our rice paper sheet is we pop it in the water. Now, common tendency will be to put it in the water for too long. I reckon it works a little bit better if it's boiling water, but it's just, you're just going to pass it through the water like that and get it somewhere to the side. We then take our ingredients, and you don't want a lot. And in onto there. This has got the nuts tossed through it. This is not dressed, because it makes a really good a portable lunch. So then what we do is we draw it tight, fold the ends in like so, and wrap it around. I'll continue making, that's it, that's the concept of it. I'll continue making these. You can leave them in the background if you like, Tess.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks,
That's
Kath.
it.
And
And
they
I'll
look
show you what
very
they look
good.
like. Obviously, you can put little cooked prawns in there, as you may have seen done. The other thing I did with my dressing is I put some hot chili sauce in it. And for your picnic purposes, I would take the dressing separately either way. And then with your spring roll, you dip it in. With your top hats, you just take a spoon and put a teaspoon or two onto your top hat once you've assembled it. So, done.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kath. Over to you, Jen.
Okay, so I've got all the frying done, and my beetroot has been steamed. So once the beetroot's steamed,
I want boiled water.
you use your lid of your varoma to catch the juices, and you let it cool. So it's still in the cooling process. It's just about right. And when you are frying all your sweet potato and ginger, be sure to drain it on a paper towel so that it's not really oily when it goes into your salad. So at the moment now, I've got all my bits ready for assembly, but I now need to make the Rata dressing. And I'm just going to go past all these instructions for what we've already done. And the beauty of having a second bowl, that's my steaming water that's turned red from all the from all the juices of the beetroot. I'll get my clean bowl out. And it's asking me to place 1 garlic clove, and one Lebanese cucumber that has been peeled, and also all seeds removed. So all I did was slice the cucumber down the middle and ran a teaspoon down to get rid of the seeds, discarded the seeds, and also peeled the outside of the cucumber. And I'm very fortunate to have a beautiful herb garden just outside, and it's asking me to put 2 sprigs of fresh mint. So we've got mint, we've got the cucumber cut into about 3 centimetre lengths, and we've got a clove of garlic, and all of that has to go into the bowl. And then we put the lid on and we watch the magic happen. Notice there's only, I don't know whether you can see, but there's 3 seconds on the timer. Okay, 3 seconds on the timer at speed 7, it's going to chop it all up. And we press next, and it's asking me to scrape down the sides of the bowl. Beautiful. And look, when it's going at speed 7, it's obviously going to flick some bits up onto the side of the bowl. That's why we have to scrape it down. There might be a couple of little chunks of cucumber in there that I don't want to be chunky. in my Rata dressing. So I'm just going to go back a step and I'm just going to take it to speed 7, but I reckon that was less than 1 second. And it caught those chunks and it's just refined them down to the texture that I want. And yes, now it's perfect. Have a little look. See?
Yeah.
So I'm scraping that down. And I'm adding 200 grams of Greek yogurt. Now, usually I make my own yogurt, but I ran out today and I left it too late to start because it is an 8-hour process to make yogurt, but that's okay. So I'm using just a Greek style yogurt and popping that in 200 grams. And I know it's a 200 gram container, so I'm not even measuring it. And then some flavour that makes Rata. And of course, we need some ground coriander. And we're going to use a ½ teaspoon. And of course, if you prefer more, you know, if you prefer a stronger fart, I'm going to really heat that up. See, so it's not a level ½ teaspoon. I'm adding as much as I love because I love all these spices, so I like to be a little bit heavy-handed with them. ½ teaspoon of ground cumin, 2 pinches of dried chili flakes. Well, anyone who knows me well, it's going to be more than 2 pinches because I love chili. You know, keep going.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Yeah. Okay. And a ½ teaspoon of salt. And I reckon it does need salt, so I just add a little bit more in. Okay. So what I love is that the recipes don't dictate to you. If you're a creative cook, you can add more or less or do whatever you want or miss an ingredient if you want and replace it with something else. You're not dictated to by a recipe unless you want to be. And there are many people out there who want to be because that's how they love to cook. So it's horses for all courses with this thing. And we're just going to mix that together on speed 4 for 5 seconds. Right, and transfer into a bowl. Now that's your Rata dressing. And to be honest, whenever I make a curry, I make this. I sometimes add a little bit of lemon juice, maybe, but this is just divine. And let me just pour it into a serving bowl. So this Rata dressing actually goes on the side of your salad. So I'm going, and then you help yourself to it and dress accordingly. So I'm going to go and plate now, and I'll come back to you at the end of the segment with this beautiful salad.
Fantastic. Can't wait to see it all come together, having seen all the components separately. Thank you,
Jen. Not just the flavour, but it's the colour.
Yeah.
It's the contrast colours, it's just, and textures. It's a real ripper salad.
So it's a showstopper. Okay, thanks, Jen. All right, we are going to head over, whilst we're still watching Kath, to my friend Jackie, who has been waiting ever so patiently. And Jackie is going to, I'll let you explain what you're going to do, lovely.
Wow, that's the last.
Firstly, I need to put in an official complaint because what I made this evening was my dinner. And now I haven't been able to eat it because I need to show you all. So that's okay. But that's okay because I did graze while I was making it during the day. So I'm a little bit different to the girls tonight. I really love those gourmet crackers that you see at the supermarkets and the gourmet sort of shops. And they're about $6 to $8 a box. And the box is about this big and it's got about 10 crackers in it. And I thought, there's got to be a way, or somebody must have come up with a way to make these at home. And they did, and I found them. But it wasn't for Thermomix. So I had a go at converting it to a Thermomix recipe, and I saved it and uploaded it into the recipe community, which is another platform that Thermomix have, which basically means that I'm utilising the three, and I'll just pop you down a little bit. I'll be utilising the 3 dials manually, opposed to hitting the next button and having the instructions on the screen like the girls have had this evening. Now, something exciting as well, I don't know if everybody knows, and it's kind of hot off the press news that Cookie Doo 3.0 is coming. And I'm super excited because it means that this recipe that I've popped into Recipe Community and I'm doing off a piece of paper this evening, I'll be actually able to program into my own Cookie Doo profile, and then I can cook it off the screen like the girls have done this evening, and I won't have to use my brains or put my glasses on. So that's a real winner for me. That's a real winner for me. So without further ado, I'm just going to smash these out quickly. Now, this recipe that is kind of a process. It's kind of like the cracker version of a biscotti. So basically with a biscotti as well, you would make, there goes my recipe. This is why I need it in Cookie Doo, right? With biscotti, you're basically making a cake as such, and then you're slicing it up, and then you're baking it again. And then that's where you get the real crispy crunch. So all I'm going to show you this evening is how quick and simple the batter is to make. It's like 20 seconds and the batter's ready to go into the oven. It'll cook in the oven for about 25 minutes. When it's cool, I'll take it out, wrap it up, pop it into the freezer for an hour or two, just so it's not really soft and crumbly, but not frozen hard. And then I come back through and I slice it all up, pop it back into the oven on a slow cook with 120 degrees for about 50 minutes. And then you've got the yummiest crackers ever and cheap. So without further ado.
Have you worked out how much it costs you to make them, Jax? Roughly?
I haven't actually done the sums.
That would be interesting.
It would be. And I think we'll be emailing out the recipes and bits and pieces from this evening.
Yes.
So tomorrow morning I will do a costings for you, but it actually really depends on what you're putting into the to the gourmet cookies. So I have given instructions. Usually I do a cranberry version, but today I've got so many cranberry and pumpkin seed that I'm actually going to do a raisin, and it's quite flexible. You can use gluten-free flours instead. It's actually egg-free as well. You could put linseed in there or sesame seeds. You can use pepitas, sunflower seeds, any of the nuts that you like. Any dried fruit that you like. You can actually just customize it to yourself. So I'm just going to move around to the side and I'm just going to pop you down a little bit. And I've prepared everything in advance. So you're not going to see me for a second, but that's okay. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is pop in 25 grams of milk, and you can use any milk, cow's milk, soy milk, whatever milk, whatever is your poison. And I'm actually going to bring the scales up manually. And the TM6, if you haven't had a TM6 before, the scales actually come in 1 gram increments, which means that you can actually be really precise. So 250 grams, and it will count up as we go. Nearly. So much pressure, hey? Ah, look at that. Ah, boom. So 250 grams of milk. We're going to pop in 50 grams of the brown sugar. There we go. And I've also made my own yogurt. And this is just a natural Greek yogurt. And I'm popping in 65 grams. So I've actually pre-weighed this, so I'm not going to tear it. And I'm not going to hold you up any longer than necessary, but I'll pop all that in there. Okay, and from there, all I'm doing is putting it onto 10 seconds. Grab my lid. 10 seconds. On speed 4. So all I do is get out of my scales, back to the main screen, 10 seconds, and turn it around to speed 4. Simple as that. And that's just giving everything a good little mix. Nothing exciting to show you, but I'll show you anyway. Alrighty. And now I'm going to go back across to my scales. And if I had taken the lid off or anything, I would have teared it. But we're going to pop in 75 grams of plain flour and 75 grams of wholemeal. And I'm kind of a near enough is good enough. So 73, 74, I'm good with that. And in with the next flour. And it wants me to pop in the cranberries at this stage. It's 65 grams, but I'm actually going to use some raisins. So in they go. Lid on. Back to my main screen, just by hitting the close button and swiping back across. And we're doing 5 seconds on reverse. So I'm not sure if all of you are aware, but the front side of the blades that spin that way are the sharp side, and we can pop it into reverse to stir, combine without chopping up all of your ingredients. So speed 4. Done. So the kind of consistency we're going for is something a little bit similar to a muffin. So that's where we're at the moment. That's all combined. And we simply add everything else in. So from here, I've got 50 grams of rolled oats. I've got 3 teaspoons of baking powder. Pop that in. I am doing a combination of pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, but you could use linseed, you could use nuts, you could add whatever you wanted to. So that goes in. And then, of course, you want to have some lovely flavours. So in this concoction, I have got, I don't know if you can, am I in a good spot? There we go. I've got half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg, quarter teaspoon of thyme, a teaspoon of rosemary, quarter teaspoon of salt, and an eighth of a teaspoon of black pepper. There we go. All of those get whacked in. Lid goes back on. And the final stir is for 5 seconds. Reverse, speed 4. And on the team 6, to get to the reverse, on the TM6, to get your reverse enabled, you just touch the blades and it will actually change and it'll let you know that's enabled. That's it. That's my concoction. And that will just go straight into a rose gold loaf pan and popped into the oven. Now, I won't do that right now. I'll do that off camera because I'm pretty sure you all know how to tip batter into a cake tin. So that's as simple as that recipe is. So once it's come out of the oven, it's cooked, it's all ready, then as I explained before, I pop it into I wrap it up, pop it into the freezer for an hour or 2. And then when it's out, I cut it into slices. Yeah. Quite thin, about 2 to 3 millimeter slices. And from there, they go straight into the oven, 120 degrees for about 50 minutes. Now, this makes a huge amount. So I only use what I need when I need it, and then put the rest back into the freezer. And so then they'll come out nice and crispy. Also, this rose gold baking tray is gorgeous, and a silicone liner. They're both available from the mix shop, and I've got some prices here for you. They've actually got a special at the moment with the tray, the liner, and a cooling rack. Altogether, $39. That's pretty good. Okay, and the end result. Yeah, and they're fabulous. They're really good quality, really good quality. So without further ado, here are a couple of crackers. So I can see that's 2 different batches of mixture that I've made. One's got a little bit more turmeric in it, so you can leave that out if you didn't want that. And that one there. And I have just popped that all onto some grazing platters, which are perfect for picnics, spring racing. You see all that? So I'm just going to go and hover it around. So this dip here Most of these components, actually all of these components, bar the cheese really and the fruit, are made in the Thermomix. So we have a sun-dried tomato and capsicum dip. This is beautiful as a dip. It's also really lovely stirred through pasta. I've made some walnut and blue cheese shortbreads. Super easy, really tasty, gorgeous, 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 with the famous caramelized red onion chutney. I know that's one of Jen's favorites as well. Beautiful with cheese and the crackers, so they'll be perfect together. I've also made an apple and ginger paste, so similar to a quince paste, I guess, but with apple and ginger, a bit of pear in there. All of those recipes are available on Cookie-Doo, and it steps you through everything. So you don't have to think. If you can read, you can cook, and you can create some amazing. Do you imagine having all your friends over now and pick it out on that? Yum.
Yeah, I'll be there in
Yum,
about
yum,
an
yum.
hour.
And if you're going to the races or to the park or something like that, then these grazing boxes are really, really handy. I got mine from a wholesale catering supplies place, but I know that some of the supermarkets and some of the kind of cheaper like Reject Shop and some of those variety stores have them now. And I've just kind of simulated what's in there. So I put some meats and some cheese. We've got some prosciutto and some salami and dried apricots and some cheese and some little veggie sticks and whatever. And because we're taking this to the park, I've popped in some rosemary as well, because if you're like me, the little critters love me, the mosquitoes adore me, and this time of year, they're out in force. So rosemary, rosemary is actually a really great mozzie deterrent. So if you pop a couple of sprigs into your picnic grazing boxes, and then place them around on your picnic rugs, hopefully you won't get attacked. That is pretty much all from me, except I'm running my first. I'm a bit of a lover of Christmas, and I'm a giver, so I'm constantly making stuff for people and delivering it and so forth. So I am doing a Christmas cookie creations class on Sunday at 4 o'clock on Zoom. So if you go to my Thermi Central page, you'll be able to see all of the event details there. But I'll be making lots of different ways of, giving you ideas on lots of different cookie concoctions, I guess, using simple ingredients, whipping them up in the Thermomix, but offering you labelling, packaging ideas, really simple, basic, inexpensive ideas that are perfect for giving to classmates, teachers, neighbours, work colleagues, those sorts of things. So if you're looking for something a bit personal to give to people and you want to have a little bit of inspo, I'd love for you guys to join me on Sunday. Here's a couple of bits and pieces. This is a gorgeous gorgeous little Christmas tree star made out of gingerbread. We've got some different sort of cookies. I've got savoury things. I've got something for the pets as well. So I'd love to see you. So follow me on Thermi Central. That's my social page on both Facebook and Instagram. And I hope to see you then. But that's all for me, guys.
Thank you so much, Jackie. I can't wait for Sunday. I'm going to learn lots, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Excellent.
Thank you for
Now
that.
I'm going to have dinner.
I just wanted to ask you, how do they keep those crackers?
The crackers, I'm sorry, I just put a piece of cabana in my mouth.
Yeah, great timing.
The crackers are really great. Let me show you what I keep them in. I'm a lover of these Sistema ultra square containers. They're stackable as well, so I keep all of my dried fruits and seeds and things in there. They keep really well for months in here. Yeah, if they last that long.
Nice.
And it lasts in the freezer as well, so you don't actually have to cook everything at once. You could, if you know you've got people coming over, you can just take it out of the freezer an hour or so in advance and cook them up fresh too. So yeah, it's a really, really nice and easy one, as you can do the same with the shortbreads as well. once you've made the dough, you can pop it into the freezer for a couple of months as long as you've got it wrapped and stored correctly. And then just slice it. It's really much easier to slice shortbreads when it's cold or frozen.
Yes.
And they don't spread as far in the oven either. So that's really a good trick. If your biscuits are spreading too far, pop your dough into the freezer or into the fridge, chill them before you pop them into the oven.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for all those
You're
tips.
welcome.
And what we will do now is I'll remove the spotlight, and we are going to do a quick whip around to see final results of what everyone has made tonight. And then we'll just do a quick little sum up of all the specials that are on at the moment. And we will put you on your merry way. So, Jen, I'm going to hit you first. I'm busting this dish.
Well, it's so colourful and so pretty. So, yeah, write down that's it. So what we have here is the Rata dressing. Makes heaps. And I even had leftovers of this dressing the other night with a curry, and it was just divine, and roti bread. It was just beautiful. But I'm not sure if I was going on a picnic or taking this salad to a friend's place for a barbecue, I would put it in my oval thermo server. These are beautiful, a nice shape. They're a bit shallower, nice shape to sort of showcase something like that. You see the colours in there?
Oh, that looks beautiful.
I know, it's just so beautiful. So the recipe called for some alfalfa sprouts to be popped on top. So I had a single layer of beetroot down the bottom, topped it with my sweet potato crisps, and then topped it with the alfalfa sprouts, and then each person helps themselves, and then they can sprinkle on some dressing. But I haven't had dinner tonight either yet, Jax.
Oh.
So I've made a little portion for myself. So this is the way you could do individual portions. You just do the same thing. The recipe also calls for an option of black sesame seeds. I couldn't get any here in Woodend. Funny that. And so I have just put a little bit of sprinkling of black poppy seeds, but the sesame seeds make a beautiful contrast, the black sesame seeds, if you want to use those. But it's just an optional thing. A few alfalfa sprouts. And what I'm going to do is just show you quickly what I would do if I was to dress this. I would just put this Rata dressing. Now, this will cool the chili down in the beetroot. Here we go. Yeah.
That is stunning, Jen. I'm so jealous of your dinner.
I'm having that with some homemade dumplings.
Oh, yum.
I'm looking forward to it.
I bet you are. Thank you so much, Jenny. They look fabulous.
My pleasure. My pleasure. The one little tip I could give you, that if you're going to make this salad to take to someone else's place, or even you can make all the components earlier, but I wouldn't put the chips on over the top of the beetroot until you're ready to serve, because they go soft. Okay, so if you want that little bit of crunch, don't go, just keep everything separate until you're ready to serve. That's my tip.
Great advice. Excellent. And did you have something else to tell us about too that's on offer at the moment? Just quickly.
Oh, I have. How can I forget? 36 months interest free.
Woohoo.
With Zip Money. So we usually have 24 months interest free, but we've now got 36 months interest free up until I think it's the 2nd of December.
Correct.
And absolutely fantastic. You can get a Thermomix on your bench for $16.83 a week. Okay. If you want the second bowl blade lid set, it comes up to $17.01 per week. It's an absolute no-brainer. We do it through Zip Money. It's an independent finance facility. Look, I tell you what, the savings that you'll make on groceries alone is going to easily cover that $17 a week, just easily. So it really is an absolute ripper of an offer. Very, very popular. Also, people I've known who have taken out the finance have paid it off earlier. No penalty, no nothing. You can add bulk amounts of money. Say if you get a couple of $100 for your birthday from mum or dad or something, whack it on, and it will. There's no penalty for doing that. It's absolutely a fantastic way of getting a thermi on your bench, because not all of us have a lazy $2,300 lying around, but Zip Money will help you out with that, and you will pay for those fees that are included and all of that easily in grocery savings. I know it. It's absolutely fabulous.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jen. Just the fees that are applicable with the Zip is a $49 application fee and
Yep.
a $6 per month. I don't know what they call it, account keeping, transactional admin fee.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sooner you pay it off, you stop paying those fees.
All that. Yeah. I always tend to suggest to my customers that they pay a little bit more off. So if it's at $17.01, I'd be aiming for $20 a week. And then you know that you're not going to get caught out at the end with an interest-bearing bubble at the end. So, you know, I always say a few dollars extra a week can't hurt. And then if you get that little bonus amount that you can throw on occasionally, it's fantastic. The sooner you pay it off, the less fees you pay. But you will find that those sort of that the interest free is going to absorb, those fees are going to be absorbed in the grocery savings that you make on.
Oh, definitely, 100%.
Absolutely. And really,
Thanks,
$17 a week, it's a couple of cups of coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Brilliant.
who wouldn't do it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. I've
Thanks,
enjoyed the
Jenny.
session tonight. Thank you.
Enjoy your dinner.
Oh, I will. I'm starving.
I'm going to cross to Kate now, and actually, before dessert, we should cross to Leanne first and see how those pies turned out.
So this is how the pies turned out. Can you see that? There.
Hang on a minute.
Oh.
Spotlight's not working. There we go.
Yum.
So this is just one way to plate up.
Oh,
I
beautiful.
thought we were going to be going up the street to visit neighbours, but it's raining. But this is just a quick little tossed salad that I in the middle there. The other way that you could do if you were going to a picnic is in your thermal server, and you'd put them in here whilst the pies are still hot. But a tip that Jax gave me is if you put the absorbent paper on the bottom and on the lid, you'll actually keep your pies nice and crisp. So it'll absorb all that moisture there. And then I've just cut, and I haven't had dinner either, so I can't wait. But that's them cut.
Oh, Leanne, they look absolutely beautiful, and I think they look really pretty in single portions.
They do, don't they? They're I actually did one, and I have to try and find it. I did one where I didn't actually put the oil on, and you really can't tell the difference.
Oh, well, there you go.
So, yeah.
So a slightly lighter version of it. Thank you,
What are
Leanne.
they like cold?
They're not bad cold. Yeah, they're better warm.
Okay.
Jen, you'd need to put chili in it.
Yeah, I would put chili next time because I'm a chili gal as well.
Yeah. But I was just wondering, if you did take them to someone's place or to a picnic, would they need to be hot or warm? Or do you think?
So I have taken them to a friend's place, and I've taken them just straight out of the oven, put them in my thermal server, and off I went. So
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
That's all right.
Fabulous. Thanks, Leanne. Okay, we're going to cut across to Kate now. Let me just find Kate. Oh, there she is. Can't wait to see these. Oh, wow.
I've just put a spoonful of the topping on each one.
Yep.
And then the lid on the top of the jar. Simple as that.
Kate, they look fabulous.
Yeah.
Have you had a cheeky
There were 6, but
little
my daughter ate
taste?
one.
Sorry, who ate it?
Sorry?
Did someone eat it? It's all right. Don't worry. They look fantastic.
Yes.
Have you had a taste?
I've only tasted the topping. My daughter ate one in like 3 seconds.
Oh, okay. So she
Definitely
inhaled
ate
it.
Yes.
Fantastic. They look really great. Thank you, Kate. I can't wait to try those.
Yeah, they're good. Very easy.
Yeah, awesome. So Kath. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, guys. I made up one of the top hats, which was baked on the outside of the mini muffin tray. So you see you actually have a ledge which helps catch the whatever may have spilled to the edges. And I've just put a teaspoon of the dressing. That's one way of doing it. And as I say, if I were taking it somewhere, I would pour the casing, the salad and the dressing all separately. However, if I were wanting to make it as a ready-to-go meal, I think the rice paper roll is a good option. They do hold well. You can pack them into a lunchbox and just carry the dressing separately, so then you can dip them. That's another option. I think Jocelyn may have another option.
Okay, so we'll
Yeah.
cross over to Jocelyn and see what she. They look fantastic, Kath, both versions.
They are. Yeah, they're delicious. And I was told they're a make again.
Oh, was that by Victor? Or Kieran?
Kieran. He said, "What did I just eat? Salad and only salad for dinner?"
Oh, that's too funny. Okay, Jocelyn.
Yeah, so now I just want to show you the dressing that I've made. Yeah, hope you can see it. It's
Yum.
yeah, it's just that I just sprinkle with the roasted peanut and then garnish with coriander. Yeah. So deep fried spring rolls on it as well.
Beautiful. I'm going to try everything that I haven't made before tonight. Fantastic. Well, thank you. Just get us back to gallery. Thank you for joining us. It's been quite a eclectic bunch of different recipes, and I have to say I've enjoyed each and every one of them, particularly the cocktail. So just to kind of recap on a few things before we let you go, is we have recorded this, okay, and we will be sending you a copy of the recording. It'll be a YouTube clip, and we will get that out to you as soon as we can. Just to remind you about Jackie's event on Sunday at 4 o'clock, same channel, same Zoom details. We look forward to seeing you then. We also have another event coming up on the 16th of November, and it is by the team leaders of the Ohana branch, and we are each presenting a bring a plate. You know, when you get told to bring a plate to a barbecue or a Christmas party and you don't know what to bring, we're going to show you some showstoppers, and I actually think pretty much all of these dishes tonight could even fit into that category. We're going to help you out and give you some ideas. So we'll be advertising that on all our pages very soon. So stay in contact with your consultants and you will find out about those. So just to reiterate, the deals on at the moment, when you purchase a TM6, for 2,359. You can add on, for the price of $29, you can add on an extra bowl blade and lid set, which is worth $375 for just $29. That is insane. Never before seen. I've been with Thermomix for 7.5 years and I've never seen the bowl blade and lid set for $29. So it's a winner chicken dinner. Get on it. If you don't want a second bowl blade and lid set, that's okay. You can opt in for the freebie. Gotta love a freebie. And that is the Meals in a Flash cookbook and the beautiful kitchen toolkit that Jen showcased for us tonight. We also have host rewards. So when you bring 2 friends to a cooking experience, a cooking class, or if you host one in your home, we reward you. We thank you for introducing us to new people. And what we can do is I might just spotlight myself, as much as I really hate doing that. I'm just going to show you one of our super special host rewards on this month is the mini vacuum cleaner, the handheld mini vac. It's a ripper. It's cordless, chargeable, from the makers of the Thermomix Vorwerk. These are worth $299. If you host a cooking experience, you can purchase one, a qualifying cooking experience. You can purchase that. Oh my goodness, I've just had a blank. $49 if there's a purchase. Is that right? Can someone back me up here? I've just had a mental blank. I've been on leave and I'm literally back 2 days. So, anyone? No? I will put it in the email that I send out to you, the exact details. I'm so sorry. And of course, there's our standard host rewards, including the thermoserver, the oval one that you saw Jen dish up her beautiful salad in. We've got the round one as well that I think Leanne showed that she takes her pies in. We've also got beautiful white thermoserver, which fits perfectly in your Varoma for making individual yogurts, and the thermo mats. So just for hosting a cooking experience, whether it be virtually like this or in your home, we can do express cooking experiences for literally, an hour in and out, and you can earn heavily discounted host rewards. So there's lots on offer. Stay in touch with your consultant, find out what you're entitled to, and and if you just recently purchased, we have a variety of different delivery briefings now. So for customers who are upgrading from a 31 or a TM5 to a TM6, you've probably got your handle on making stock paste. We can do so many different things to further your knowledge and get the most out of your Thermomix. It might be, like Jackie just said, a recipe conversion. She's converted that recipe that she loves so that she can make it in the Thermomix. So we have little classes, little mini sessions where we can teach you how to convert recipes. We can show you how to meal plan. There is so much that we can do for you and to make sure that you are getting the best out of your investment. So if all the girls could come off mute and just say a combined farewell. Do we have any questions in the chat? Thank you. Beautiful. And everyone's one. Yep. Okay, no questions in the chat. So, gallery, here you go. I just want to really thank you. We had a rough start and we have gone over time, but hopefully it's been worth it. We really love bringing as much information and being of service to our customers. You are why we do what we do, and we absolutely love it. So thank you for coming. And if you're watching on replay with the YouTube link from registering from our class, we thank you for taking the time to watch. Please, if you have any questions, if you want to host a cooking experience, reach out to your beautiful consultant. And yeah, it's been a pleasure to bring this beautiful food to you. And yeah, I'll just let the consultant say a quick cheerio.
Thank you everyone for coming. It was an absolute pleasure. I've got chili up my nose from, and I'm sneezing, but I'm I think I've demolished my salad. Yeah.
I think you were hungry.
It's divine. You've got to give it a go.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jen. Leanne, would you like to say?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone for coming. I know it's big up given that it's our first day of freedom, so we really appreciate you taking the time to sit with us while we show you what we can do with our Thermomixes. So thank you and have a wonderful weekend.
I'm still on.
Thanks, Leanne. Jen, could you mute, please?
Yeah, because
I can't mute you.
oh,
Jackie, would you like to say goodbye? You've got some people.
I would. Thank you so much to the guests that I had watching today. I hope that you hung around to the end, which is awesome, to watch what I do and share what I love. And I hope that some of you will come on Sunday. It'll be about an hour or so. I'm very cruisy. I've got lots of tips and tricks and different quirky ways to show you how to give great, affordable Christmas gifts and where you can buy all the bits and bobs from whilst they're new in the store before they all sell out, because they do sell out. So, yeah, check out Thermi Central. That's my social page. All the info's over there. But have a great night. Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie. See you on Sunday. And
Yes.
over to you, Kate.
Yeah, just look, thanks everyone for coming. I know been a long night, but anyway, it's been a good night. So no, thanks again.
Thanks, Kate. Enjoy your cheesecakes.
I just had one then. It was very nice.
Oh, good. Okay, and Jocelyn.
Right. Hi, thank you everyone for coming. And I'm definitely going to make the rice paper roll that Kath made just now for tomorrow's lunch. So, and everyone have a good night and a good weekend.
Beautiful.
Bye.
Thank you, Jocelyn. And last but not least, over to you, Kath. You must be muted. Sorry.
Sorry. Thank you everyone for hanging in and watching out. It's fun to hang out with others and cook along, and we inspire one another. So hopefully we've added to that, added to the grist, for you guys. Good night.
Thanks, Kath. Thank you, everyone, and good night.